Daddy told me to be good. Mama told me do it right. TV told me I'ma blow, and I'ma do it over.
And of course in the background now playing is a run of Casino in 2020. Before that I gave you Wenungo One by 047. A huge shout out to them. Thank you so much for coming through, boys. Right now I've got a lady I absolutely love. I only met her like the beginning of this year, but she's grown to be, I've grown rather to be really fond of her. Her name is Miss Yolanda Obakeng.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Just tell people, the listeners rather, who you are and what do you do.
Okay, my name is Yolanda Obakeng Bele. I am the founder of OMG Academy. That is Obakeng Media Group. So basically we train people that are trying to get into like TV presenting, radio presenting, or you just want to build a brand, or basically just look after your brand. So that's what we do.
You know, here's the thing, or rather let me not get deep for now. We'll get back to that, you building people to be presenters. What I want to know now is how was it growing up in the Ekurhuleni townships?
Oh wow. I didn't expect that. Well, Ekurhuleni is, it's a multi-cultural, obviously, because there's a lot of Tsongas, there's a lot of vendors, a lot of Zulus, so you kind of learn how to deal with different cultures. And I suppose that's what helped me to, basically it helped to fuel my love for speaking, because you had to learn how to speak so that the person can still understand you, even though it's not the language that you normally would speak. So I just got to know the love of how to speak different languages to different people, and yeah, I think it's very, very multicultural.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then also as you worked with the community, of course, so was a community organization rather what you were doing when you worked there?
I've done community work from ever since I can remember. I've always been working with the community, be it through youth programs, be it through even adult programs, even skills development. I've always just been doing that. I've always been doing public speaking as far as I can remember. Yeah.
That's so amazing. Also, what I'd like to know is, can you tell us more about you starting the magazine business, also, and how does it feel, the ups and downs, obviously opening also the TV channel, Ambassador TV, you know?
Okay, that was quite a challenge for me, because my boss basically came to me and said, listen, I want to start a magazine and you're gonna do it for me. I'm like, I've never done it before. He says, you'll do it. And it was a journey and a challenge. I had to learn how to basically be an editor, how to come up with stories and edit everything and put it together, basically from front page to back page. I did all of that, and it was a very it was an experience.
Here's my thing, Sis Yolanda. You do quite a lot, you know, and we haven't even covered even half of what I've just mentioned only. Where do you find time now for your family and friends? You know, how do you juggle all of that with so much work?
You know what? It's not easy, but we have 24 hours in a day, right? And normally on average, we're supposed to have like 8 hours for sleeping, and then maybe 8 hours for work. But think about it, there's so many more hours left over. What are we doing with those hours? So it's a matter of time management. You find a way to just schedule things at the right time, and if you get it right, you don't really feel like you've overworked.
Yeah.
It's just time management.
Wow. And then tell us more obviously about working SABC2 on the TV show called I Survived. I want to know what's it about and what was your actual position there.
Okay, so what had happened there is they were looking for stories. It was a documentary. They were looking for stories, and there was a few stories that I had submitted, and they loved one of the stories, and so I just basically worked on that story and pulled in the talent that had to work on the story, and that's what I handed in. And what they did is, just as we were shooting, the producer decided, okay, Yolanda, why don't we interview you, because you came up with the story. We just want to interview you as something extra. I did that, and they were so surprised at how good I was in front of camera, and they thought, you know what, just do more with camera. And they advised me to do news or current affairs or all of those things.
Yeah.
And I had already been doing a lot of public speaking anyway, so I thought maybe we're onto something here. Let me just continue and see, because a lot of people do come to me and ask me for tips and to train them and all of it. So I decided, you know what, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to start training people.
What I want to know from you now is the 2 movies that you were part of, Capture and Simbamba. What was your role in the movies? Please let us know more about that.
It was behind the scenes. So I was production manager for both of them. With Simbamba, that was a very exciting movie because it was based on a folk, like a folk belief that that there is this song. It's a lullaby that was usually sang by Afrikaners, and when you sang it, it brought about some ghosts and all sorts of things. So it was a horror movie. So that was very exciting. And then Capture was also a horror movie, but not as horrific as Simba, but both productions were quite good. Yeah,
wow.
I enjoyed them.
Speaking of now you doing a lot of things behind the scenes, movies, television shows, you know, documentaries and everything. I want to go to the part about the movies rather. What's your take with the fact that we actually cast American people to play our African stories?
I think the problem starts with us as Africans.
Okay.
We are not ready to be authentic enough. We don't want to embrace the African culture. We don't want to be seen as African. And therefore, other people are like, it's almost like they have this desire to act African, and therefore they'll go for the African roles, and they'll do the best that they can. While we Africans are moving away from Africans, from our Africanness, and then we're trying to portray Western culture, and that's why it's just we never really portray that those roles. We end up giving them to Americans, unfortunately. Yeah.
And then in the beginning, when I asked you what do you do when you're introducing yourself, you said skills development in media, training people to be presenters and everything. Here's my thing about schools or other academies that do that. I really appreciate that, the training, everything, but what about now giving people jobs then? You know, after the training, what happens?
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is why I actually ended up going the CETA route. Because with CETA, skills development means you not only train the person, but you help with job placement as well.
Okay.
So I've put together curriculum, and I'm busy working through CETA to make sure that I'm accredited, and the whole curriculum is also available from next year. And it is, the business model is based on exactly that. Not only training you, but making sure you actually turn your craft into a business. So once it's a business, it's easy for you to get your own income instead of waiting for that audition and you stand in the long queue and your chances are very slim of getting a job. So we help you to know that you as a brand are the business. And once you understand that, it's easier for you to actually make an income out of that. So no longer do we wait for the auditions. We know there's not too many of them, and there's thousands and thousands of hopefuls, so the chances of you getting the job is getting slimmer and slimmer. And also, just back to the authenticity of being an African that I was talking about, now you'll find that the reason why auditions are being spread, so you'll find these presenter sessions being spread all over the country, it's because now the search is out there for somebody who will speak a proper African language. We here in Joburg are always trying to speak English, and we're not always getting it perfect. So we do need to attract a lot more people who will speak vernac and speak it properly.
Also, what I want to know, you were part of On Cue. I don't know if you still are. Did you leave?
Yes, I left.
So what made you now, what made you say it's time now for change, for me to do my own thing now, to now start Obakeng Media?
I think it was time, because I've always had a plan, a goal and a dream, and sometimes you just bite the bullet and you think to yourself, this is time for me to really do it, and I have to move, it's either now or never, and you just jump into the darkness and you do it, and that's what happened with me. It was time.
This is a question from one of my very good friends who says, we know that you also develop programs for which not only limited to artists in the radio and TV industry. So which other careers can your programs also help in?
Okay, as of next year, like I said, we're going to be doing project management. We're going to be doing even production for radio and TV. We're going to be doing small business advising courses. business admin. So yeah, just a few more business courses while we're building up to even more like your music courses that we're going to be adding now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the end goal actually, Sis Yolanda? Yeah.
Wow. The end goal.
Yeah.
It's actually quite big. I would love to see myself one of these days owning a university that is based on just media.
Oh, thank
Yes.
God. Would love
Just
someone to
media.
do that, actually. Yeah. Would actually love someone. Do you think, why do you think that with media students or other creatives are not given enough opportunities like those that take courses within medicine, science and commerce, and we're not giving in proper scholarships or bursaries, or, you know, why are we overlooked? Why do you think we overlooked?
I do not think we overlooked, to be honest. I think there's always opportunities somewhere. We just don't search enough. Creative people are usually so focused on the craft, on your creativity, that you don't really do enough research for you to know that there's other opportunities out there. There's a lot of international opportunities, African opportunities, even just the fact that we are in Africa. Let's create our own content. Why not? We should be doing that.
Okay, and then also tell us more about the Media Academy that you start with Love World Set, and then where is it situated and how can people actually enroll?
Okay,
yes.
With that one, you would have to go through the Love Set World website. Just find out with them how it's going, because basically what I was doing there is just to help them with the curriculum and help them set it up so that it's operational when they're ready. So, yeah.
Before I continue with the few questions that I have for you, I just want a quick 5-second thing. I'm going to ask you quick sentences. That's it. The greatest lesson I've learned is
that change is constant and change is worth taking all the time. Yeah.
My biggest fear is
not moving, being stuck in one place.
Wow. I believe
that I have a spiritual power that is at work in my life, and if I just trust it and follow it, everything is alright.
Wow, that is love is?
Love is the thing that puts a permanent smile on my face day and night. It's the glow on my face. It is the butterfly in my stomach that doesn't disappear all day long.
And lastly, creatives are?
Creatives are almost mad people who have a lot to say with very few words, but with also a whole lot of color to say it.
Wow. My next question here is, we already noticed that locally you work with MASA, Musicians Association of South Africa, of course, and also traveling to help others with wellness services, of course, seminars with both obviously international and local work. When, like I said, they still want to know when do you find time now? You see those as much as there's 24 hours in a day, you see what I mean? You're doing quite a lot. That's why it's so hard to say how do you juggle family with all this work, you know? But anyway, Monday she already answered how she does that, so we're gonna move on with that one. And then, but are you still with Masa?
I do workshops with them, yeah.
Okay, and then tell us more obviously about the skill within the manicure and pedicure industry.
Let me be honest, I actually did that course because I was very lazy to study. Let me be very honest. I just wanted something quick that I can do and just say, yes, I've been to university, I've studied so much already, yes, that's it. It wasn't my first love or anything like that, but also I knew there was an opportunity to travel once I've got my diploma, and which is what happened. As soon as I finished, I started traveling, yeah, giving services like even seminars on that particular subject as well.
Yeah, it's Mandela month, you know, now that the whole month belongs to Mandela. Is there anything specific that you are doing or contributing towards?
Yes, as a matter of fact, on Mandela Day, we are embarking on a campaign with waste entrepreneurs. You know those people that pull that big sack of waste?
Oh yes.
What's happening is that there's a lot of outcry out there where people are saying they should stop doing that and it should be basically illegal for them to do that. But if you think about it, most of those people, that's their only way of feeding their families. So we on a drive on that day where we are helping them out and helping just create awareness of the fact that this is what they need for to make their living, and finding ways and means to make it a bit safer, and also just to support them basically. That's a drive we're doing.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Also, what I'd like to know from you, if you didn't work in media, anything related to media, what do you think you'd be doing? Clearly not the course that you did.
Definitely. Media has just been calling me from a young age. It's not that I deliberately wanted to do that. I do not think there would be anything else really. Yeah,
because all your work is media based.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's been calling me, whether I wanted to or not, it just calls me, from music to movies to whatever. So I do not think I could have planned my life any better. It just keeps happening the way the Lord has planned it, basically.
Wow. Sis Yolanda, before I let you go, obviously the skills and development media thing, the workshops, are there still more workshops coming up? Can let people know more about them and how they can be part of them?
Definitely. I'm doing a lot of workshops in townships where we basically introduce them to the media industry in a day's workshop. So they get to understand radio, they get to understand TV. It's basically a workshop to answer the question, do I really want to be in the media industry? So we basically throw you in the deep end, and those workshops will be going on. We will have the next one in Alexandra Township, and then after that we have another one in Sasolburg, and then depending on demand we just keep moving from township to township. There's a lot of demand in the Eastern Cape, there's a lot of demand in Limpopo. So if you keep watching my social media platforms, there'll be a lot of information about the next workshops that are coming up.
And then are you going to do talent management as time goes by?
That question. I do not really want to focus on talent management, but because of the kind of people that I train, and when people see the quality of the people I've trained, you find that directors and producers will ask me if I've trained somebody who fits a certain brief, and if I've got somebody, yes, I will send them out there. And I do manage people's brands, so ultimately it ends up being me doing management, but it's not really my core.
And then lastly, what I want to know from you is, how can students reach for help from you? How can they get a hold of you on social media platforms? Email, of course, let us know.
Okay, email is omgsouthafrica@gmail.com, and then you can WhatsApp me on 081-858-5645, and on all social media platforms it's Obakeng Media.
Obakeng Media. My last question to you: 3 things floating in your mind at this moment that will definitely be a reality for Yolanda by 2020.
2020. I'm going to have my own TV channel by then.
Yeah.
Own radio station as well. And I would have written a book. Yeah.
May I ask what will be the book is about?
I've already started actually. It's going to be a part of the story of my life. Very small part.
Wow.
Yeah.
And obviously a lot of teachings there, and lessons. Oh, wow.
Definitely.
Firstly, Sis Yolanda, thank you so much for coming through. I wish you all the best. I think you did a good thing starting your own thing. I mean, I've seen how you've groomed quite a lot of people, so it's time to just like let yourself also, you know, fly free, you know, because you've done a lot, you know. Guys, she's absolutely amazing. I would know this, definitely. She gives you a shot if she knows that you definitely do deserve it. So yeah, man, like she said, Obakeng Media on Twitter, on all social media platforms, and OMG South Africa @gmail.com. Nakalina ke unale na ba rata peteke. I am out of here. I'll be back on Friday, 10 a.m. till 12 p.m. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's go.
You're listening to Una Peteke.